Oh, poor Shayna Baszler. You really did mess up this time, didn't you? Do you know what? This week's Raw was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed the damn show. I thought it was okay. And of course, we got the return of Alexa's Playground. And it all kicked off. And next week looks unmissable if you are a fan of this new Alexa Bliss character. It's gonna be good. But this is things you might have missed. Before we start, make sure you hit the like button. And if that didn't scare you off for good, hit the subscribe button too. So this week on Raw, we had Reginald versus Shayna Baszler in an intergender match. Importantly, Nia Jax watching on from backstage. It was indeed Reginald who beat Shayna Baszler. He pinned Shayna Baszler in the ring. People are complaining that it's buries Shayna. I really don't think it did, simply because it was the fire that distracted Shayna. Of course, the fire was used as time to actually help Reginald, and I think this spot keeps some kind of protection on Shayna Baszler. After weeks of seeing Reginald the target of Alexa Bliss and Lilly's flames, this week it actually helped him pick up his first win in WWE. Kind of cool. But obviously this then set up for later on when we got Alexa Bliss appear on screen and basically confirm that tonight there will be a playground and Reginald was invited to come and play with her and Lilly. Now, a fun thing to note in your head is the segment we got prior to this where Nia Jax basically was very cautious about Reginald attending the playground. She didn't want him to go. She was worried about it. But Reginald went nonetheless and accepted Alexa Bliss's invitation, bad leg and all. And of course, he was sat on the swing with Alexa and Lilly beside him. Very, very cool to see people like going to the playground. Obviously, we did get a little graphic with Reginald's name on it in the playground style. I thought that was kind of cool. And Alexa wanted Lilly to ask Reginald a question. Reginald obviously had no idea what she was saying. And Alexa basically confirmed that no one else can hear Lilly except her. Something which we kind of knew already because we don't hear Lilly. But something cool nonetheless. And then out of nowhere, Shayna Baszler attacked Reginald in the playground. I love the fact Alexa covered like Lilly's eyes. I really thought that was just a cool moment that I think some people will be watching a fight. You may not have noticed her cover her eyes like she is innocent in all of this. But this is where things got very interesting because then we got Shayna Baszler literally confront Alexa Bliss. OMG, out of nowhere. And it got very, very real when Shayna Baszler bent down and told Lilly, "You're just a stupid doll." Yep, you messed up, Shayna, because Alexa is pissed. And the best thing about this is I think this could be setting up for something big next week on Monday Night Raw. Finally, I think we're going to get it. But it is now time for the Yowie Wowie moment of the week. And it's got to be the New Day's attire tonight. Absolute perfection. Go, go, Power Rangers. I can't sing, I know, but I wanted to do it nonetheless. Of course, Xavier Woods there as the White Ranger and Kofi Kingston as the Green Ranger. Super cool.
We interrupt this broadcast for an important message from Firefly Fun House News.
Newsbreak.
This week, Topps WWE Slam Attax 2021 trading card game releases. It's on the 3rd of June here in the UK, and I'm telling you now, the Funhouse features heavily. We get brand new Firefly Fun House Puppets cards. I can't wait. Look at that. No Huskers to Pig Boy yet, but I'm sure we're going to get one nonetheless. And of course, there will be parallel cards. You can see them advertising the Alexa Bliss one there on the left, Roman Reigns on the right. Very cool design on that Alexa Bliss card. I do like that. There will be autographed edition cards. 30 different autographs for you to collect, including The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and of course the impossible autographs. One of a kind, Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss dual signature is available, and there is even an NWO version of Firefly Fun House, John Cena. I really like these cards. They come out 3rd of June here in the UK, and I'm sure if you're in the US, you can buy them online somewhere. I'm sure as well. We're going to cover some of those on the channel. We got some big Hell in a Cell news this week, and I love that graphic they use. Look at those hands. It looks super cool. But Ozzy Osbourne is doing the official theme song for Hell in a Cell with Straight to Hell. I love rock music in wrestling. Sign me up. And we found out Drew McIntyre defeated Kofi Kingston, and Drew McIntyre will now challenge Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. And for the first time ever, it's a second Yowie Wowie moment of the week.
Can't quite get it. Wow. What? Double underhook. Oh!
A new version of the Future Shock DDT debuted tonight on Raw from Drew McIntyre. Do you know what? It looked brilliant. I love when superstars can regenerate moves and make them more interesting, give their characters new life. I really, really like that move. I don't think he's going to be doing it to people like Lashley, though. That's my only criticism of the move, but nonetheless, it looks super cool. Now, back to this week's Raw, and I see people on Twitter. Some people are saying that it was Shayna she targeted all along. Alexa's been targeting Shayna for weeks. I don't think that's the case. I think this was very much Alexa being confronted by Shayna Baszler. Unless you go with a story that she orchestrated this whole thing to get Shayna to do what she did tonight, that's a distinct possibility. Of course, we're forgetting the obvious factor here, and that's Nia Jax. She's been pushed to the sidelines in the match, and during the Alexa's Playground segment, she wasn't welcomed by Reginald. She was told to go away. We know there's history between Nia and Alexa, and that's why everyone, including me, believes that this will be a feud for the new Alexa Bliss character, and it makes sense because of that history between the two. But if you can drive a wedge between Shayna and Nia and break up their tag team, that's the best way to do it. And tonight, not only do we see them wrestle, we saw Shayna Baszler attack Nia Jax's love interest, Reginald, leaving Shayna Baszler exposed. But then, of course, Shayna Baszler is the one that challenged Alexa. But if you then get rid of Shayna, who's left? Nia Jax. And that means that Alexa can target Nia. I don't think Nia is going to be the first opponent. I think that's going to be Shayna. But I don't think we can rule out that Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss is a big, big possibility right now. Obviously, the big question that remains to be answered is, what is this next week? Shayna Baszler said they needed to have a chat. Well, technically, they just had a chat. So what is next week? Next week could potentially be a match. It could be another Alexa's Playground. It could be a confrontation in the ring of some kind of sorts. It might not be a straight up match because they might not want to give that away yet. But I do think that this next week will be the debut of the new Alexa Bliss Dark persona. We've been waiting and teased about it for months. And I think this could be it. The way Alexa responded after Shayna Baszler challenged her, if you will, and insulted Lilly, she sort of looked at Lilly and nodded. Almost like, I know what I need to do. And that's probably kill Shayna Baszler. And that could be very, very interesting. We don't know how that segment's going to play out. But what is Alexa going to look like? Is she going to look like what she looked like at WrestleMania? Is she going to get like that crown back on her head? Is the black goo going to come back down her face? Maybe. That could be the Alexa Bliss we get. Is it possible she gets a mask? We theorized before that maybe if we get a flashback, we get this kind of mask, which she wore in a promo once. So this is possible. And of course, there could just be simple face paint like we saw at WrestleMania again. I think it's distinctly possible for all three. And I wouldn't be shocked to see something OMG next week. I really think they are going to go out and debut whatever dark persona Alexa Bliss is, which then could potentially lead to Hell in a Cell. Perfect. I think we need Alexa Bliss on pay-per-view, right? But I'd love to know your thoughts and anything you think I missed in the comments section down below. So make sure you drop down there and leave me your comments. Like the video. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me over on Twitter @CWrestlingUK. And I'll see you as always next time. Peace!